Our boy Beckvoy was totally screwed. See, this game called Reverse Planet went absolutely viral. It had portals, superpowers, and War's basic cool stuff. His buddy hyped it up. So, Beck logged in, the noob's stuck inside the game for real. Now, reality is a nightmare zone. And poor Beck, he's just lab rat, number 62, getting tortured daily. They call this mess Project Transcendence. Go, make one soup. Every trapped prisoner get zapped and drugged up to mutate their bods. Nasty. After endless pain, guess who survives? Beck pauses. Everyone else, dead. Scientists have no clue he's plotting major revenge. Soon, Beck and some other guinea pigs bust out of their cages. Sirens blare. The guards know the rats are running loose. They get far, then bump into a scary redhead guard. Guy looks smug, saying, "End of the line. Losers." Big brawl starts. Then total blackout. When the lights flicker on, Beck smoked the guard, but he's the sole survivor. He's sobbing when his friends' ghosts pop up screaming, "Avenge us." They wail and moan till Beck's like, "Okay, fine." Years later, he's still on that revenge grind. He hunts lab staff, but it never feels like enough. Ghost buddies keep nagging him for justice. Beck wonders, how long do I gotta do this? He's raging when a status window pops up with a bug fix mission. Weird. Quest. Delete the project, boss. Reward. Go back home to the real world. Hype. Beck goes beast mode to reach the target. Before long, he and his pal, Kim, number 81, find the bad guy. Facing death, the dude asks, "Why me?" Boss guy yaps about how Beck achieved God mode in a human bod. Super up. He brags Beck is their best success story. So he offers Beck, literally, anything. Beck's like, "Nah, pass," and gets ready to end him. Realizing Beck is dead serious, he screams, "Killing me won't stop it." He warns the League of Cores, ... boss is super petty. Cross him, you're toast. He pulls the "I'll hurt your fam" card. Beck yawns, slits his throat. Game over. Young Jun flips out. We needed intel from him. While Jun is screaming his absolute head off, Beck is just zoning out at a status screen. Pop-up says, "Mission complete." Want to bounce back to reality? Beck's eyes widen. Finally, one click and he's out of this nightmare. Right as his finger hovers over, yes, his dead squad ghosts him. "Yo, what about us?" They start whining. "Avenge us. Kill 'em all." Total buzz. But Beck is so over it. Totally drained. He knows it's a limited time offer. Use it or lose it. Beck turns to Jun. "Peace out, bro. I'm going home." Jun thinks he's talking trash, 'cause Beck always spouts weird stuff like that. Beck smirks, says, "Tell the crew my bad," and smashes the button. Boom! Beck wakes up in his bedroom. Wait, is he actually back? He grabs his phone to check the date, and jaw drop it's the exact moment he got sucked into the game. Like, did Tom literally freeze while he was gone? Mirror check, no ABS, no scars. Was it just a fever dream? But the memories are way too HD. He remembers every gory detail. Definitely real. 10 years of hell can't just be a hallucination. No way. Mid-panic, his phone buzzes. Caller ID. Name rings a bell, but his brain is still rebooting. It feels super familiar though. He answers and girl screaming about ignored texts. "Did you totally flake on our plans for tonight?" Beck's loss. What plans? No one groans. "We're hanging out. Tonight, duh." She pins her location. "Get your butt over here. Fast." She hangs up, and Beck realizes Naeun is his BF, the same girl who nagged him to play that stupid game. Is she the mastermind? Nah, she's not that clever or evil. Still, he's gotta go see her, and figure out if she's sussed or not. He shows up and Naeun is practically vibrating with energy. Seems like they haven't hung out since he got into uni. "Drinks?" she asks. Beck pass. Drunkie might go berserk. Naeun blinks. Beck turning down booze? That's new. "Okay, weirdo. Let's just grub then." She shrugs. "Michu?" she asks. "So, did you try Reverse Planet yet?" Beck nods. "Yeah, made a char," and watched the intro. Basically, right before his life glitched out. Sucked into that freaky alternate dimension. Nien flips out hearing. He only saw the intro. She roasts him for being a total noob. Beck gets super salty, 'cause he literally lost 10 years in that digital nightmare. Before he snaps, Naeun keeps yapping. She was hyped when Beck swore to try it, hoping he'd join her stream squad. She recalls his pro ranker status in that arena game. She says chat would go bonkers if he cameos, since she's new. Then it hits him. Why she was spamming him to play. He asks if he promised to She's like, "You said maybe once?" Back at his crib, he looks up, who made this stupid game? Turns out it's from Silicon Valley Dev. Seeing that, he gives up. No way he's flying to the States to snoop. Plus, everyone would think he's totally nuts if he rants about getting his. Also, messing with them sounds way too risky. So, he figures he'll just chill here since he finally bailed out. Time to relax and enjoy the real world vibes. Next day, he hits school, trying to act normal. In class, he suddenly senses his dead squad. Grabbing him, asking if this is the life he wanted, freaked out. He spins around, nothing there. But then he sees the room packed with ghosts, wanting revenge. Real fast, the whole class notices Beck actin' sus. He bolts out to breathe, then feels a tap on his back. PTSD kicks in hard, and right as he's gonna strike, he sees it's just a classmate. The guy's shook and asks what his deal is. Beck says, sorry, claiming he just got spooked. Later, he benches it to ponder his chaotic life. Those ghosts keep popping up, screaming for payback. Nyon appears, asking why he looks so wrecked. He lies that he's fine, and Nyon backs off but tells him to DM her if he needs to vent. Beck goes home realizing he dragged those ghosts. Hear himself. He won't be free till they're satisfied. Since real life is a total nightmare too, he decides to hop back in and finish this mess. So, he hops in the capsule and logs back on. Eyes open, he's standing in the lab lobby, confused why he isn't in the other realm. He's mad that after choosing to go back, he got stuck in the game instead. Needing to chill, he figures, tutorial first. Maybe beating it unlocks a way home. Worth a shot. Character saved. Combat assists, 0%. He's scrapped in the real world with 0 help, so he's good. Beck gets asked to pick a core ability. Totally Speaking of skills, the game is designed so your core pick gets buffed by elemental add-ons later. Basically, your power plus elements equals your build. There's so much variety that pro leagues have. Literal nerds studying optimal setups 24/7. Beck recalls the one-up skill that made him a metahuman god. Yep, picking that bad boy again. Setup done. Shockingly, no torture dungeon awaits. Instead, he's sent to meet a bot named Etanel is a straight-up murder machine built to smash awakened folks who go feral during tests. This thing is lethal, having flatlined tons of subjects. First quest, use your powers to wreck the Etanel standing right there. Simple enough. Squinting at it, Beck thinks, is this version 1? Whatever, Beck's over it. Science creeps are the same everywhere doing shady stuff in labs. Fueled by rage, Beck charges the Tinkin. It's got annoying moves, but Beck stomps it. It's just a prototype. After smashing the Etanel to bits, he gets the notification, test complete. Meanwhile, the lab coats are doing their evil thing. Suddenly, alarms blare. Intruder alert. Gov squad. PA system booms. Prisoners, break out now. Beck pauses. That voice is totally familiar. Ding, new quest. Escape the lab. Let's roll. Total anarchy erupts. The place is falling apart. Beck books it. Sprinting down the hall, he spots a wrecked Dimension Bureau agent. Definitely a friendly. The dying agent clocks Beck as a victim, trying to flee. Hey kid, let me help you out. Phone click. Boom. Armory unlocked for Beck. He tosses Beck a radio. Call for pickup. Once you're clear, Bureau will come get you. He says that, then immediately croaks. Beck's furious but breathes. It's just a game level. Raging, he grabs a chain's time to shred some bots. Elsewhere, pro streamer Kong Soil just spawned in. It's her first run, and she's totally unimpressed. However, her chat is roasting her hard, roasting her for being total trash. She only hopped on 'cause chat wouldn't shut up. Despite the flop, she swears she'll crush Reverse Planet. She tweaks the settings and picks a broken skill to cheese the win. Skill picks he sets, aim assist to 50%. It's basically an autopilot that handles moving and shooting for you. Higher numbers mean the game plays itself. But chat dares her to clear it with 0 assist. She hesitates for a sec, wondering if doing it raw is even doable. She recalls that, literally nobody plays on 0 mode. Even though she's an indie vet, Soil knows 0 assist equals death. She's ready to say, nope, until a fan challenges her to do it raw. The bribe, 500,000 if she wins. She instantly flips, claiming real gamers go hard. Chat is shook by how fast she sold out for the cash. They spam sellout, but Soil's just securing the bag. Seconds in, Soil realizes she's in trouble. An Etanol jumps her, killing her in 2 minutes. Fans pity her, saying 2 minutes is decent for a pro. Honestly, most viewers think the quest is actually impossible, so clearing the tutorial with 0 assist is a joke. Soil decides it's time to bail since the mission is done. Suddenly, the game autocues her for a party. It's a 4-player squad. Soil gets hyped, hoping her team can carry her. Chat is not amused that she's looking for a boost. First, match fails, but she is desperate, widening the search since it's a popular game. Then, a viewer points out, matchmaking only pairs you with identical settings. And since no idiot plays unassisted, she's stuck solo. Soil realizes she's doomed, and chat roasts her. Right as she rage quits, a match pops up. Soil freaks out as the system loads her into an escape mission, trying to hunt down Beck's location. She's shook by the piles of wrecked mobs everywhere. Her chat is totally losing their minds over the view. Some say pro, others scream hacks. No way a pro clears this solo. Plus, dude wiped the floor with them using 0 guns. Deep down, Soil is hyped to get hard. Buzzin', she tells Stream, it's time to find this mystery beast. Soon, Soil spots Beck tearing through enemies like wet paper. She nearly gets sliced in to cause Beck flags her as a baddie, stopping just in time. Beck sheaths his knife, muttering my bad for the near. Seeing his noob gear, Soil knows she found her. Guy, he spins to bail, but she quickly halts him, shouting they're actually teammates. She drops her name and mentions she's live right now. She asks if streaming is cool, promising him his face is blurred thanks to privacy mode. Soil's still yapping when Beck freezes up. Before she clues in, Beck senses that a hit squad has them totally surrounded. Lead starts flying and Soil ducks, crying about the insane difficulty. When she peeks, Beck is chopping guards into sushi. Chat's jaws drop at his insane chain sickle skills. Soil cowers behind a wall, realizing none of this makes any sense, even for a total noob like her. Soil begs Chat to ID Beck's weird power. While Mo's guess wrong, one nerd figures it out. He claims there's only one eye-changing, stat-boosting skill. Absolute Being. Soil is floored, cause Chat swore that skill was garbage. Chat confirms it, totally baffled by the scene. Talking, Absolute Being. It's one of the game's massive core features. It buffs, stats huge, but locks all your other skills. Thanks to that, North players think it's worthless. Soil's mind is blown. Playing without skills in this game seems nuts. Meanwhile, Chat keeps roasting how bad the build is. One guy notes the raw stats might work in a pure brawl, and Soil kinda just nods along. She figures Beck went all in on muscle over magic. But the kicker is, Beck is supposed to be level 1, making his moves a total mystery. Seconds later, Beck wrecked that lobby full of guards. But the voices in his head? Totally unsatisfied. They want him to go full beast mode. They're screaming for serious, savage payback. Beck gets so distracted by the vibes that he totally blanks on the one guard still standing. Right as the baddie aims, Soil swoops in like a hero. She hops in, blasting away to force him back, totally saving Beck's bacon. Guard thinks he's chill for a sec, but before he can even blink, Soil slides in like a movie star. Boom, point blank head. Dude hits the floor, and Soil decides to play it cool, blowing smoke off her gun like she carried the whole fight. Her Chat instantly starts roasting her, calling her a massive kill stealer. Soil just grins at Beck, asking if she was at least helpful. She reminds him of his sis, but the ghosts in his brain crash the party again. Seeing she feels guilty, Beck assures her she actually came in clutch. Soil's viewers are totally shook when they see Beck's reaction. He's such a chilled dude for not raging over the kill steal. Soil's hyped that Beck isn't salty about it. She begs to tag along for the rest of the raid. No surprise, Beck gives her the thumbs up. Walking down the hall, Beck drops his name, so she'll stop calling him hard carry. Soil's stuck, wondering if that's his real game. Then she asks if he picked Absolute Being as his starter perk. Beck's like, yep. The chat goes wild. While some fans are already debating the meta, others think Beck is built different. No way a normie does that. Soil gets curious and asks Beck if he grinds other games, cause his dodge reflexes are straight up. Beck's about to reply. Beck goes mute. Soil asks what the glitch is. Beck whispers, there are 2 Eternals about 20 meters ahead. Soil is floored. Beck has 0 detection skills but still wall hacks their location. Crazy. Beck tells her to keep pushing, promising it's gonna be a breeze. Surprise, they bump into the mobs. Soil can't believe Beck called it. Strolling up to the enemies, Beck chats about an old school game he loved called Coliseum. They lunge. Soil screams, watch out, but Beck's already dodged them. Beck unleashes a massive counter hit, smashing one monster straight into the brickwork. He rushes the second, dropping the bomb that he was a ranker in Coliseum. Beck turns the guy to scrap. Chat finally gets why he's so cracked ease. Even Soil had no clue Coliseum was legit. The OGs in chat start spamming that those gamers are Actually, there's this one specific ranker from there who is also dominating Reverse Planet. Soil's jaw drops. Battler's a legend in the pro scene. Chat's wildin'. Did Beck 1v1 Battler back in the day? They're already hyping a showdown. Beck versus Bait. Soon, they pull up to the final mission. Beat the redhead guard. Big boss time. Beck shook. Wait, all that chaos? Just a tutorial. Eyeing the boss, he hallucinates his squad screaming for payback. Boss guy moves, but Soil goes pew-pew, trying to cheese the fight early. Nope. Giant force field eats her bullets. Classic boss hacks. Chat roasts her. Aim better. Noob, stop spraying. Terrified of a game over, she bails. You got this, Beck. Beck squares up, throwing hands like a maniac to silence the voices. One nasty haymaker later, boss hits the wall. Shield shattered. Boss rages, charging an ult to one-shot Beck into next week. Chat thinks Beck's gonna get absolutely wrecked if that lands. Beck sidesteps, but Boss morphs his arm into a spike. Yikes. Another miss. The wall takes the L though. Chat is losing it. Nobody dodges that combo. Even with aim, boom. Beck plants a left hook. Boss drops to his knees. Oh no. Boss is down. The Ghost Squad screams. Finish him, rip him apart. Terrified, the trembling, Boss stammers. How's a test subject? This Beck grins. All thanks to you, but squish notification pops. Lab security chief defeated. GG. Soil stands there, jaw dropped. Total shock. Chat refuses to believe their eyes. Was that real? Let's dip, Soil says. Beck nods. Mission complete. They step out and tutorial complete flashes. Finally, Beck snags one skill point. Sweet loot. Soil asks if he's gonna keep grinding. He says, nah, wait. She pleads, I got a surprise. Before showing him, she cuts the stream. Chat cries, new, don't leave us. But it's over. Offline, she shoots her shot. Wanna join my daily streams? Beck's like so, Soil breaks it down. Main quests, some good stuff. She promises a fat check. Huge appearance fee, flexible hours, easy money. Beck mulls it over, then hits her with a hard no. His face says it all. She's got zero chance. Rip, friend request. Instead, he accepts. Close enough. She signs off, telling Beck playing together was a total blast. Soil dips, leaving Beck confused why he hasn't respawned IRL yet. Little does he know, something huge is about to blow up thanks to the insane skills he just showed off. Meanwhile, a mod is typing up a salty Beck is a hacker post. Also, viewer 62 just dropped $3,000 on him. The Planet Earth dev office in Korea was in total meltdown the next morning, all thanks to Beck's wild ride. Seriously, nothing this crazy has ever happened there before. They're looping the replay of Beck's game, jaw-droppingly stunned every single time they watch it. Naturally, the forums are already screaming that he's hacking. Reports are flooding in like spam mail calling him a cheater. The boss asks if they double-check the logs to make sure he's legit. The team says he's clean. They dug deep, checking everything back to character creation. Despite the madness they saw, there's absolutely zero proof of tampering or sketchy external programs. They've seen knock-clip hackers in ghost modes over the years. But Beck's movement, it completely broke their brains. They're stumped like idiots. They conclude it's impossible even aimbots aren't that precise. During the chat, someone suggests maybe it's a brand new exploit they haven't encountered yet. Totally confused, the lead decides to run a real verification. Later, Beck links up with Nyon and finds out the internet is basically burning down because of him. People tried the No-Mod challenge and failed miserably. Nyon admits even she was shook watching the clips. He asks how she clocked him since he was wearing a mask. She reminds him he literally dropped his name. Plus, she'd recognize his combat style anywhere. She admits his moves were sick randoms, definitely think hacks. Beck nods, finally getting why he was contacted. Nyon gets super nosy, asking who messaged him. She totally flips when she hears Planet Earth reached out to investigate if he's cheating or not. Beck explains the message came through Soil. Nyon says official intervention means major drama is coming. She asks if he's actually going to submit to the probe. Beck replies that, yeah, he's definitely doing it. He knows it's his golden ticket to get on the inside and figure out the truth behind this mess. Nyon agrees better to clear the air than be branded a hacker. Beck replies that he doesn't care, but he's totally going to do it anyway. Plus, since he was faceless on stream, he thinks nobody'll clock him. Nyon hits him with facts though. Even with a new look, his fight style is one. Pros don't fight skillless like Beck, she says. Fighting styles always docks the pros, she notes. Beck's shook at how obsessed peeps are. Nyon's like, good thing you're investigating, or Soil would get Beck freaks out, cause Soil doesn't even know her. But Nien says, the mob doesn't give a rip. They'll hunt you, then finish innocent Soil. She spills. Realizing the drama, Beck texts Soil he's down to investigate. Soil's super hype. Reading it, Beck joining means her view's gonna explode to the moon. No time wasted. Soil pings her chat. Stream soon to clear Beck's name. 4 days later, Beck meets Soil in game. Soil says sorry for the drama, but he's chill about it. Beck asks if she finds him sus. Soil says she saw his moves that day, so the rumors are trash. Deep down, Soil nude. Beck looked like a psycho killer. No hacker vibes there. She keeps quiet and just says she trusts her gut. Beck gives the okay, and Soil starts streaming. Chat goes wild instantly since they've been waiting. They want to know if he hacks, but some stay neutral for now. Soil freaks when count hits 10,000 fast. Shows how thirsty peeps are for the tea on Beck's hacks. Cam hits Beck. He says hi, but most of the Stream hates him, convinced he's cheating. Soil told him to chill or she'd kill Chat. Soil asks Beck's thoughts. He says the hate is dumb, saying that just triggers viewers who think he's faking. Soil announces a guest to verify, and he appears. The guy then says he's Park Gumhun, Earth's ops manager in Korea. Chat's shook seeing an ops manager join just to prove Beck's legit. Beck's plotting to grill the guy later, suspecting he knows stuff. Meanwhile, Park is super curious about the results. Intro's done. Park leads M to the verify zone. Park drags him to a sweaty custom lobby for some PvP drills. He's like, yo, heads up, we gotta run a few stress tests to make sure you ain't hacking. Before the match, Park asks if Beck's chill with it. Beck's like, bet. Park drops a mid-tier bot, looking all shiny and tough. Chat goes crazy cause that mob is way beefier than the tutorial scrubs. They think Beck's gonna get clapped. Park tells Beck, alright, warm up, round with the mid-tier. Beck's inner demons wake up, and he goes full goblin mode. Park didn't even finish saying start, and Beck already rushed him. He wrecks the bot so hard, Chat is asking if the game is bugged. By the time he's done, everyone feels bad for the poor scrap metal. Park stares at his tablet, and it's showing 0 hacks, just pure, unadulterated sweat. Beck drops the junk and goes, GG. Park sees the pile of bolts, and admits the Ana cheat. Found nothing sus. But then he hits him with, that was too fast. Run it back, but play by my rules. Beck says, sure, knowing they want to see if he's using some macro or autopilot script. Speaking of scripts, those things are basically bots playing for you. They can't improvise or do cool tricks on the fly. So if you call your shots and land him perfectly, you prove you ain't using external tools. Big brain plays. Park dares him to decapitate 3 bots with just his chain sickle. Beck accepts the challenge instantly. Park is shook cause that's a huge handicap. No time to blink. The bots rush him in there. First combo forces Beck to dash back. But then bam, he snipes all 3 heads in one swing. Park is lagging IRL, while Soil is hyping up the victory. Chat is screaming, op weapon, devs, PLS, nerf, but true gamers know it's just pure skill. Even right now, Park knows he's got the proof. Beck is clean. But Park's feeling greedy. He wants to see Beck versus the boss bot. He knows he's being extra, but he needs to see the content. Park goes, one last round. Boss level. Suddenly, a nightmare fuel bot spawns and Chat is spamming toxic admin and raging at Park, but if Beck clutches this, the guild has to sign him. This advanced bot is basically the cracked version of that, but seeing it just makes Beck thirsty for violence. The bot literally smirks, and Beck is ready to delete its account. The bot makes the first move, rushing Beck with a flurry of terrifying smash attacks. Beck dodges every single hit, admitting the thing is kinda dangerous. He lands a quick jab, just testing how tough its armor is. Since one hit won't kill it, Beck decides to just combo it until it breaks. Everyone stares jaw-dropped as he dances around dealing fatal damage. Park is totally shook because he didn't expect the bot to get wrecked when it was winning just seconds ago. Realizing Beck is about to destroy his toy with the way he's playing, Park stops the test, claiming he has enough data. Soil asks Park what the verdict is, and Park admits there's 0 sign of cheating software. To put it simply, Park clears the air. Beck is legit. The chat goes absolutely nuclear hearing that. Haters are salty, but they can't argue with the head admin. Even that witch hunt post gets deleted instantly. Soil smirks at her chat. Anyone else want to doubt him? Her viewers span apologies, admitting they were wrong. Turns out, Beck's name is already trending hard from the drama. Like a proud mom, Soil tells her, Fancy's not a hacker, he's just absolutely cracked at the game. Soil nudges Beck to say something, and he just drops a casual, good work. Guys, test over. Soil ends the stream with over 100,000 viewers. Soil thanks Beck for the content, and Park thanks him for playing along with the test. Beck shrugs it off like it was nothing. Park tries to bail, but Beck stops him. One question, ever have a bug where a player gets stuck inside the game? Park tells Beck that's never happened, or the game would be dead by now. Beck agrees with him, and Park logs out. Once he's gone, Soil asks Beck if she can DM him about the money later. Beck tells her to hit him up whenever. Soil knows she has to keep him close. He's a viral content machine, but she knows she can't force him back on stream since he only came to clear his name. Playing it cool to save the connection, she steps back and says she'll call him later. Once she leaves, Beck sighs in frustration. He didn't get the info he was looking for. Just then, Nayeon texts him to meet up in the prep room. They link up in the lobby right after. Nayeon is dying to know how it went, since Chad is absolutely losing it. Beck is like, nah, multitasking ain't my vibe. Can't game and babysit Chad at the same time. Nayeon totally sees her chance to slide in with a plan. She asks if he'd rather just game without worrying about the peanut gallery. She swears she will handle the tech stuff, begging him to just try it before bailing. Honestly, Beck could not care less about streaming, but he keeps that to himself for now. Nyon then suggests they go wreck some noobs and people. It is straight up combat against real people, and it is like the main deal in Reverse Planet, right next to the PvE mode. Beck is actually shook, so he asks Nyon if that is the real reason she dragged him to the lobby. She owns it, telling him there is zero chance he is leaving without playing around. Beck claims the game is trash, but she tells him to chill on the hate. Since he only played the tutorial, she promises him that PvP is where the real game is at. Beck recalls the PvE story mode being just like his old world, but this PvP stuff feels totally fresh. Figuring it might actually be decent, Beck caves in. Nyon is super hyped and starts breaking down the modes for him. First up is Showdown, basically a brawl against matched enemies. You got two flavors here. 1 versus 1, or 2 versus 2. Whoever hits 3 wins first, takes the crown. Then there is Warfare, letting you pick a mode and squad up with 5 people. But Nyon says they are diving straight into Battle Royale. It is a massive free-for-all with 100 players scattered across zones. Since Beck is a total newbie, Nyon suggests they squad up. She tells him he needs a proper PvP build and offers to hook him up. Beck shuts that down, claiming he already knows a broken setup. It is literally the loadout that made him a legend back in the other world. Beck tells Nyon to hop online while he tweaks his gear, and she is cool with it. Once he is set, Nyon suggests dropping at the military base for the juicy Hiter loot, since all the sweats drop there, so it is usually a death sentence for beginners. Nyon begs to record for YouTube, and Beck agrees, wondering why she is so hyper about it. Nyon dives into the server first, with Beck right on her heels. He spawns in a 3rd-floor hallway and absolutely obliterates the first guy he sees. The kill feed pings, leaving Nyon shook that Beck already dropped someone. Beck starts stacking bodies instantly, leaving Nyon completely speechless. Before he knows it, he has wiped the entire zone, which even surprises him. Figuring he is done looting, he decides it is time to bounce. Suddenly, Nyon screams over comms that she is surrounded and needs backup. Beck instantly pulls up the map to track her location. She is miles away, but he tells her to hang tight because he is coming. Yo, where you at? He pings. She hits back chillin' on the roof. 3rd floor? But she's like, watch out. Every floor downstairs is crawling with campers. Sex later, Beck pulls up too. The spot, blitzing past noobs before they can even blink. Zero chance. Some guy watches his buddy get deleted instantly and starts shaking. Pure panic. He's prob thinking Beck's rocking a broken speed build or something. The dude goes all in, putting everything into a huge blast, trying to catch Beck slipping. But Beck hops the attack, and boom, he's already in the guy's face. Too fast, guy screams, realizing he's toast, right as Beck's dagger slices his neck. After that, Beck keeps wrecking every other scrub he finds along the path. Total menace. Hit the building's gate and immediately pinged Nyon with an update. She's shook. Need backup, she asks. Beck's like, nah, stay put. Before popping the door, Beck already knows. There's 5 haters camping inside waiting to jump him. Knowing that, he steps in, already plotting the perfect clapback. First guy rushes from behind the door, but Beck's way ahead of him. Beck catches the knife midair, stabs the dude's chest. Game over. Sit down. Beck realizes he gotta speedrun this. If he wants to reach zero hesitation. He sprints into the place, dropping bodies left and right on the way up. Nyon's watching the feed, jaws on the floor. He's soloing everyone. Insane. Suddenly, she feels someone behind her, and Twitch reacts instantly. She swings a counter and nearly slices Beck before realizing it's him. She's hyped. He got there so quick. Beck's thinking she didn't even need saving. Girl looks like she can throw down. Now that they're teamed up, Nyon says she's gonna sweat too. Can't let him steal all the glory. Right after, the duo clears the lobby and take the W. Beck drops 25 kills and 7 assists. Nyon 7 kills, 15 assists. They queued up again and again, winning every time with Beck carrying the kills. Eventually, Nyon's freaking out that they won 10 games straight. Unheard of? She calls it quits since she's burnt out, and Beck's cool with logging off. Low-key Nyon is already plotting how to get Beck on her stream. Guys, a total content machine. She asks Beck to pause his main quests for 2 days. Says she's bringing an offer. Beck's like, yep, hard pass, not interested. Plus, he couldn't care less about the main quest anyway. Nyon's stubborn though, begs him to listen. Promising an offer he can't refuse. So, Nyon logs, leaving Beck to grumble about failing to find any clues in PvP mode. Total bummer. That night, she's rolling around in bed, buzzing from the streams. Success? She's so pumped she's already dreaming of more collabs with Beck. But here's the tea. Beck already gave her a hard no. Soil decides it's time to cash out Beck's cut. She crunches the numbers and nearly faints at the insane total. Next day, Nian drags Beck to another sit. She flashes a PowerPoint she pulled an all-nighter on just to sway him. Cover art? A cat. Beck can't believe she'll waste it all night on that. Then Nian flips Beck's own words on him. Since he claimed he couldn't care less about Chad drama, her big brain idea? Make it a reality show. Beck's totally lost. So Nian explains the format. Everyone chills in a studio, watching each other's clips. She tells Beck, "You game? I handle the talking." She even says he can hire pros if she flops. Nian drops the profit, split details. 624. Honestly, a pretty sweet deal. Despite her hustle, Beck keeps saying, pass. But Nian won't quit, hyping up the streaming cash. She asks if he grabbed his loot from Soil yet. Beck suddenly remembers he got an email earlier but ignored it because Nian kept bugging him. He decides to open it right there in front of her. Nian practically dies, seeing his cut is 6 million. Soy also forwarded some weird donation message she got. While Nian is losing it over the Kaz, Beck is wondering what that message says. He opens it, and his whole vibe instantly shifts. Some anon named 60 to send cash with a note. First, good to see you. Second, how's reality feeling? Adds that he's got a special mission. Him wants to catch every single stream. It clicks. The guy he's hunting knows he's back. Plus, that 62 handle proves he knows Beck's identity. Beck literally jumps out of his chair, shook. He immediately asks Nian, "Can we track this donor down?" Nian is confused why he cares, but says privacy laws make tracking impossible. She adds that he can't even DM the guy unless they chat live during a stream. Zero hesitation, Beck says, "I'm streaming." Nian's over the moon, warning him, no take. She wastes zero time posting the news. On her socials, Beck's streaming debut is coming up. Come Friday, every gamer and nerd is glued to their screens for Haxel's big return. 5 minutes before the start of game time, Naon is legit sweating bullets. But her caster pal plays therapist. "Chill fam, we practiced this, it's gonna be epic." Suncho is still totally shook that Naon, actually, managed to drag Beck into the livestream. Turns out, he only said yes because he found out Beck and Naon are Beck. Naon takes a breath, hits go live, and hypes up the chat. Zero, chill. Chat is instantly spamming, "Where's Beck?" Naon's like, "I get the FOMO guys," regarding not seeing him yet. But trust, no salty tears today. Beck is logged in and ready. The second they pan the camera to Beck, the chat goes absolutely feral. Naon announces the vibe. Think reality TV, but for gamers? Basically, it's a reaction stream while Beck wrecks the game. Everyone's dying to see his reverse planet skills. So she yells, "Showtime!" Setup done. Naon buzzes Beck. "You're up, legend." First quest drops from the bureau. The objective, save the survivors and get them out of the spooky forest alive. But the real main quest, join the Otherworld Bureau. He's gotta smash through the guards to get inside. Major déjà vu for Beck. Last time, he just focused on fleeing. But this run, totally different vibe. Suddenly, Beck screams like a banshee to aggro every guard nearby. As soon as the mobs lock on, they swarm him for a game. Little do they know, Beck's planning a wipe. His ghosts are hyping the slaughter. Beck whips out the chainsicle and starts deleting guards instantly. Their guns, useless. Beck is just unleashing pure rage. To try to flank, but he snags him with the chain and its G. Barely trying, Beck makes the guards look like total noobs. Even Naon and Sunchal are staring with jaws on the floor, cause this isn't the gameplay they're used to seeing. Sunchu admits he's never seen a player this cracked in his whole casting career. He notes Beck has zero strat, just gathered mobs to nuke em all. Even the viewers are totally loving how Beck didn't hunt guard Z, made them come to their doom. A fan donates 50,000 won, ranting about how broken the absolute being skill is. Does that thing even have a Naon turns to Suncho. "What's your take on that skill?" Suncho explains it's not actually OP. Most skills have unique timers. Because of how he plays it, just looks like Beck's build is gut. It's all player skill. Absolute being buffs stats, but it doesn't fix battle IQ or aim. On top of that, Suncho points out Beck isn't even popping other buffs. Suncho drops the mic. Seeing this, he can legit say Beck would fight exactly like this IRL. If he had those stats, real talk, only Beck can unlock that god tier power. Suddenly, feds swarm him. They think he's an OP and circle up fast. Boss Kamchu steps up, telling Beck to drop the gear. So, this Bureau squad, they're basically Gov agents deleting monsters from rift gates. Their job, wreck threats in the flipside dimension. Beck puts his hands up. He actually recognizes Kimshu from way back. Cole peeps, the lab fit. Wait, Beck's a victim, not a baddie. Kale's like, my bad for the mix-up. He spots the radio, and Beck says the lab agent gave it to him. Kim Chu mourns the agent. Beck thinks, same old Kim. Kim says, Beck gotta chill at HQ till they verify his ID. Too many fakes out there. Beck is cool with it. Kim pulls the squad back. Mission complete. Beck links with the bureau, dings a level, and grabs a skill point. At HQ, Beck's stuck in counseling. Didn't expect to see this room again? He recalls that, in the other timeline, he did gigs for cash to fund his revenge. Post-lab escape, he did a few jobs, but hunting reverse planet mobs was the big one. The company sent him there to farm loot, which meant running into the bureau a lot. Sometimes they teamed up for raids, but other times, drama popped off and they fought each other. Then Lee Eugene walks in. She's with the bureau's Team 1. Chat goes wild over her, looks immediately. She's basically ranked as one of the top waifus. Eugene sits down. You've got two options. Option 1. Live like a normal civilian, safe, but zero power usage allowed. Option 2. Join the squad. Pick this, and he's an official agent. After some noob training, he'll get sent on quests. If he's ready, Beck recalls fragging an agent in the other timeline. Now they want to team up. Eugene asks for his pick. Beck pauses to buffer. Civilian life just means corporate mercenary work. Again, and he's not trying to go down. Nah, retracing his steps just ain't his vibe. Plus, he's totally nosy about the bureau's drama. So Beck tells Eugene, I'm in. Sign me up. Eugene's hyped. Sick. You made the right call. We need you. She says those corporate suits kept poaching heroes, leaving the bureau short-staffed. She hypes her squad while roasting the cores hard. Says the bureau is an OG crew with mad skills in training and dungeon wrecking. She admits the Corp League pays bank, but the quests are death traps. Beck knows, back in the day, tons of heroes got wiped doing Corp dirty work. Once, they stiffed him, he had to throw hands to get paid. Then they found out he was an illegal user, and the cops chased him for a bit. That's when he bumped into Kim Corp. Eugene hands him a phone. Finish training. We verify you, and you rank up. She adds, that's when he gets a squad assignment. She shamelessly wants him on Team 1, her crew. Beck's like, same here, actually. Turns out, dude feels he owes her big time. She raided the lab that let him survive back then. Chat over? They dap it up. A handshake. I mean, Naon shook. NPCs don't usually chat this smooth. Even Sancho is scratching his head. Eugene only gave Naon scripted lines before, so this is wild. Sunchil thinks she's a fully adaptive basically, a bot that acts 100% human. Unlike basic NPC, it can yap freely and naturally. It eats crazy RAM. People thought it was impossible online. Naon thinks the devs maybe fixed the lag issue. Suncho ain't buying it, cause they would have flexed that tech for clout. He reckons you gotta unlock it via secret conditions. He bets the key. This is playing with zero aim. That's Beck's quirk. Still, Naon is sure this'll go viral. Sunchil's hyped for the dev update. Meanwhile, Naon is plotting to bring a VIP guest next time. Someone super into the inverted world lore. Beck leaves, so Naon cuts the stream. Catch ya next time for peep. Later, Beck's chillin'. The Laba, puzzled why Anon62 ghosted him. He told Naon to hit him up if 62 slides and streams live, so he figures she wants him grinding. Naon pops back up, telling chat, next up is PvP, and today's content, Total Showdown. She tells the fam that this is Beck's PvP debut, so he starts in Normie League. Reverse Planet has 8 ranks total. Bronze, Silver, Gold, Plat, Diamond, Master, GM, Contender. For Bronze, you gotta win 10 times in normal. Pros take 30 minutes. Average Joes need 2 hours. Suddenly, a wild quest appears. For Beck hit Bronze in 30 mins for 500,000 won. Naon pings Beck ASAP to say, this, and he flashes a sign, I'm down. Chat's shook. Some think he's getting way too cocky. Now everyone's hyped to see if he can clutch it. Then, Beck loads into his first match. Surprise, he's dual-wielding swords for the first time. Opponent thinks he's safe if he keeps his distance. Match starts, and the dude attacks Bug. Bam! Beck slices him in half. Instantly. EZ clap, Beck moves to round 2. This player sees Beck and knows he's totally OP. He rage quits instantly. Free win for Beck. Next match. Same story. Beck wrecks. The dude boom. Beck wins 10 straight games in 20 mins. Naon and Suncho are totally hitting Bronze in 20 mins. Unreal. Chad goes nuts. He broke pro records and is officially the GOAT. Sunchil says speed ain't the only crazy part here. Usually, peeps struggle against counters, but Beck didn't sweat the matchups. Perfect gameplay every time. Total domination. Just as promised, the donor paid up since Beck smashed the quest. Naon thanks him, hyped to see Beck's future plays. Then Naon points out that stream sniping Beck's gonna be easy since he's live. But Sunshell thinks stream sniping him is tough. Talk about a jinx a guy. Enters the arena, and yup, it's a sniper. Dude trash talks, telling chat to watch him destroy Beck. Even though he's trolling, Beck keeps his cool, readying up to clap this dude. Nien takes credit, bragging she taught him to stay on. Round 1 drops fast, and the stream sniper goes full power mode before charging Beck. Beck thought this guy might actually have hands, 'cause of the ego, but realizes he's straight trash. Beck smokes him effortlessly, bagging round 1. The stream sniper instantly rages. With 10 seconds till round 2, he pops his ult to clutch. He triggers the secret skill, shifting the whole vibe. Even Beck notices. Sniper rushes in, thirsty for blood. Beck actually has to admit, the guy's moves got way sharper, thanks to that buff. Sniper plays himself, screaming hacks, and claiming he threw. Big mistake, since Neon said to wreck anyone crying hacks, and this guy just signed up. The sniper pushes back, but sees Beck's energy flip. Still, he stays cocky, thinking he's winning. Annoyed that Beck's chilling, the stream sniper dives in, yelling at him to quit flexing with hacks. Suddenly, Beck blitzes past him before he can blink. Before he reacts, he realizes he's slashed. No mercy. Beck starts spamming, cuts all over him. The sniper tilts and tries to pull. A wild move, but Beck completely shuts him down. The crew realizes Beck is just toying with him now. Sunshall jabs at Neon. Beck's just following her savage orders. Chat hypes Neon, calling her scary for making a beast. Sniper gets floored, asking what kind of monster Beck is. Beck mocks him back before hitting the finisher. After clapping the sniper, Beck keeps the win streak rolling hard. He was so cracked, he won 30 straight, hitting gold fast. Sunshore is shook by that 30-game streak on a debut stream. Chat goes wild, begging Beck to drop his build. Neon clocks that Beck might keep it private, since that's his secret sauce. Still, she decides to shoot her shot and asks if he's cool leaking the build. Beck says he's chill. Neon hypes up Chat. Beck agreed to show the stats. She promises to drop it on the forums later. Chat is stunned. He shared the meta, proves his confidence is maxed. As soon as that's a wrap, Sinungul and Neon bow out. Catching y'all later? Stream's off, and Sunshell's totally buzzing about how lit that was. Zero boring bits, just straight fire from start to end. Neon's a Loki, wondering if Beck's gonna smash the world record at this rate. She asks for the stats, and Sunswa drops the info that the top streak is 76 wins in Showdown, held by the GOAT battle. Neon's totally rooting for Beck to crush that score. Beck's absolutely cracked at the game, so she knows he's got this. Sunil vibes with that, betting battlers lurking on stream cause he's super competitive. Just like the guest battlers watching and stalking the whole community drama. He sees everyone glazing Beck so hard right now. One comment triggers him, saying, Battler would get wrecked by Beck. Battler just laughs off the shade, cause he thinks he's the main character here. Days later, Beck logs in, confused why Anon62 ghosted the last stream. He asks if he needs to do something wild to get noticed. A sec later, Eugene pulls up. She asks if he's sweating his first real mission, but Beck's like, nah, I'm chill. But Beck knows the vibe is totally off, because the second he logged in, the mission popped up instantly. Mission assigned. Eugene tells him to hurry and change into his battle drip while dropping the location, even though it's Super Suze. Beck doesn't care. He's hyped to skip the tutorial. Beck asks Eugene what the actual deal is. Eugene says he's gotta clap some invaders and shut the portal down. Eugene takes Beck over to some old building the League of Enterprises used to own. She mentions they don't beef with the League cause they're kinda useful. Still, those corpos toss stuff out immediately. The moment it stops being useful to them, turns out Beck's hunting bug monsters. Basically, trash mobs. But they're super annoying cause they swarm in huge packs. Eugene flashes her ID to the guards and they get let in. Inside, Beck's shook that a portal spawned in a factory. Then it hits him he's seen this exact spot in the other world. But the portal over in that world was mid-sized, not tiny like this one. He thinks it's a glitch, but Eugene cuts him off, saying, let's go in. Right before they jump in, that annoying dude Choi Hoon Cho pulls up. Turns out, Cho's an awakened working for Gumption Electronics. Eugene's shocked to see Choi, and she asks why on earth he's at the factory. Choi claims he's clueless and just as shook that their missions overlapped. Eugene's confused again cause she remembers Choi ditching this mission. She grills him on being sus, but Choi swears he's playing nice. Choi pivots to Beck, telling him to ditch the dead-end bureau for the corporate high life. Eugene ain't vibing with that, giving Choi a look that screams back off. He tells Eugene she's flying solo on this mission and dips. Once Choi bounces, Beck asks for the tea. Turns out, Choi was her first trainer. Seems Choi's been trashing the bureau ever since he sold out to the League of Enterprises. The spectators are totally shook. seeing the beef between Eugene and Choi finally get exposed. Chat over. Eugene says it's time to hop in the portal. Little do they know, Koi's squad is camping out, waiting to strike, and they've got a nasty surprise ready. Right before the jump, Eugene tells Beck this is the only ticket to the reverse planet. Suddenly, something sketchy goes down, and Eugene gets yanked inside first. Beck follows, but realizes he's totally lost Eugene in the transfer. Instantly surrounded by creeps, Beck figures he'd better smash these monsters before searching for his partner. Meanwhile, Eugene is absolutely wrecking the mobs around her, but the ugly things just keep spawning. She senses a trap but is stressing over where Beck is. She just clears the wave and is gasping for air when Choi pops up out of nowhere. Eugene dodges late and takes a nasty slice to the gut. She scrambles back, yelling at him to explain this betrayal. Choi hits her with a villain smirk. Top secret ops, babe. He tells her not to hate the player, he's just following orders. Suddenly she's circled up, and that stomach wound is looking bad. Eugene reads the room, decides it's time to bail, fast. She charges up a huge blast and yeets it at a goon. He blocks it, but that split second lets her slip past. Now it's a high-speed game of tag to catch her. While sprinting, she throws back countershots to slow Koi's squad. Gaining a lead, she spots a pit and dives right in. Thanks to the drop, she manages to ditch her stalkers. Elsewhere, Beck is squashing monsters like literal bugs. The audience is baffled at how OP is right now. Soon, Beck spots Eugene's messy tracks and knows it went sideways. Suddenly, he catches her voice and sprints full tilt that way. Beck pulls up and sees her battling a beast. He swoops in, one-shotting the thing to save her. She drops, but Beck catches her mid-air like a total superhero. Beck gently sets her down. Yo, she looks totally wrecked. Cuts everywhere. It hits Beck that Eugene is actually cracked at the game. No shots she lost to a bug? Plus, these cuts are deep. Definitely sauce activity here. Beck asks, did Choi jump you? Eugene nods. Yup. She says Koi's squad camped them right after the portal crash. Chat goes wild. Koi's total trap setup. Also, the quest popped way early. Nyan asks, Sunshell, is the AI bugging out? Suncho's like, nah, definitely, a hidden plotline. Let's keep peeping the stream. In-game, Eugene shook Koi's team, but they could respawn on them any second. Plus, she's terrified she might leak their curds if she pops a skill. Feeling like dead weight, she says, bounce. Beck's like, nah, camp here, I'll handle the snakes. Eugene's not having it. Bro, listen, Choi is a sweaty vet. You'll get folded 1v1. Beck grins. Chill, I got a strut. Later, Koi's crew is plotting when he feels eyes on his back. Choi pulls his gear, ready to throw hands. But Beck screams like a total wait up. Choi relaxes. Oh, it's just Eugene's pleb junior. Beck fakes it. I got separated after the portal lag. Chat rates the acting 10 out of 10. Choi is cooked. Choi steps into Beck's space for a friendly pat, trying to catch him lacking. Once in range, Choi tries to snake him. Too slow, Beck's dagger finds his chest first. Speed hacks. Beck pierced his heart before the guy even blinked. Choi stumbles back. His boys finally realize Beck just absolutely wrecked him. Beck wastes zero time dipping into the bush. One chases, other tries to heal. The chaser gets totally lost. He's clueless, while Beck watches from a tree like a ninja. Boom! Beck drops right behind him. Dude can't even react before getting deleted. Back at spawn, the last guy is spamming heals on Choi. Just when he thinks he's saving him, Beck's dagger yeets out of nowhere. Choi is done for good. The healer jumps up, panicking, screaming, where's my teammate? Beck flashes the guy's sword. He's 6 feet under. Salty. The dude spams stone spikes. Beck dodges. Everything is. Then he pops an earth wave ult, shaking the whole map. Beck books it, kicking a tree down like it's cardboard to block. The baddie sees that flex and realizes Beck is straight up OP. Then bro throws out another killer move. Beck jukes, 2 hits, but can't dodge him all, gets nicked on the arm. Realizing this guy's trouble, Beck flips the switch and rushes him, panicking to keep space. The dude spams a bunch of barriers to block him, but Beck slices through it all, closing the gap. Blink and he's there. Beck carves an X right on his neck. Dude's last word is impossible, totally confused how he got wrecked. The whole crowd, Nyan too, is just questioning reality, cause Beck just soloed 3 hunting dogs. Chat salty about the difficulty fighting elites on level 1. Unfair? On the flip side, Beck's bummed he actually took damage during the fight. He figures he's gotta get gut. He's super weak compared to the other world. Beck walks over to loot Koi's body. Checks the phone mission was to cap or kill Eugene. Keeps digging, but only finds that text. He figures the bureau can deal with the cleanup. Lutayan, Beck gets the dagger of sharp return. First buff. Cutting power goes up a bit. Second perk. Throw it, and it flies back whenever you want. Beck also cops the bracelet. Of the winner, first, effect boosts, ability power. Second, power cuts, cooldowns, but only in player versus environment mode. Finally, the Hermit's Necklace unlocks shadow storage. Plus, it lets you stash gear anytime, but again, PV. Beck's hyped. He sees stats instantly know grinding trials like the other world. Luton realizes he gotta clear the zone before Eugene gets worse. Meanwhile, Eugene's staring down a massive Emperor Scorpion. Instead of freaking out, she's glad it's her. She thinks Beck would get wrecked by this thing. Eugene then decides to solo it and charges up a big move. But before she hits, the Scorpion flops over, shocking her. Then she hears Beck's voice, asking if she's good, and it clicks. She looks at Beck standing on the beast, sword buried in its skull. Chat goes crazy, hyping Beck for the clutch save. Plus, they're impressed. Eugene faced a boss while hurt. Suddenly, it all starts coming down. Eugene realizes Beck smoked Koi's crew and cleared the zone. Beck yells at Eugene to piggyback ASAP. Gotta bail before it gets messy. Sunny points out those two need to dip before the map glitches out and deletes them. Even carrying baggage, Beck clutches the run back to the game world. Postgame, Kim grills Beck and finds out they got jumped. Kim's raging about the suits, playing dirty, and asks about Koi's crew. Deleted M. Beck shrugs. Kim's totally shook. Kim skips the how the heck part, ignores the details, and takes Koi's phone when Beck tosses it. Kim gives props and tells him to chill while the feds clean up the mess. Beck tries to bounce, but Kim senses the rage and says, "Relax, bro, you'll get another shot." With the quest done, the system drops a skill point. Time to pick element number 2. Neon's hyping up chat for the love, then ping. Anon62 drops a bomb. 3,000,001 private donut. Note says Beck, passed test 1. Also, there's a secret side quest waiting for him. Neon Deem is Beck instantly. Yo, Anon62 just dropped 3,000,001 and a note. The message teases a special mission, but he's gotta finish the stream first. Beck texts TX and tells her to keep the show rolling. Sun asks, why Neon spacing out? Nothing. She lies. She's surprised Sun can't see the allure of N realizes Anon donos are ghost mode to others. Neon shakes it off and hypes the chat PvP. We're playing Warfare. It's a 5v5 team fight. First to bag. 2 rounds takes the W. Chat spamming L though. They think Warfare is a snooze fest. Neon expected the salt, but she knows Beck's gameplay is gonna flip the script. Q pops. Beck gets a match. For an escort mission, squad up. They're on offense. Joe, push the cart. Bad guys, stop the cart. Classic. Neon's vibin', dying to see Beck flex in this new mode. Round 1. Beck abandons the payload. Weird flex. Sun's confused. Neon guesses. He's flanking. Bet. Sun notes. Risky without the meta, but works if you're cracked. Still, Sun thinks 1 versus 5 is basically suicide. Suddenly, Beck eats himself at the enemy team. Jack goes why? Enemies didn't even see the loading screen before he landed. First guy eats a dagger. Instant panic mode for the rest. Before they can blink, Beck deletes player 2. Beck goes beast mode, wiping the squad and clutching the W solo. When his team peeps the carnage, they freeze up. Dude moved way too fast. Chat thinks the team's salty, cause they did 0 damage. Others say shut up and enjoy the free taxi ride. Even Neon shook at how cracked he actually is. Sunshulo bets he's speedrunning cause he's got plans. Beck hops into deathmatch control, and Flashpoint, next. Across all 3 games, nobody stands a chance. He just stomps everyone flat. GG Denanon 62 drops 3 mil and a quest. The mission, unlock a fresh system just by grinding through the game. Neon's brain glitch is seeing that massive 3 mil she wants a pizza party, but Beck ain't interested. He's only focused on what the big spender wants. He realizes he's gotta grind every mode to advance. He's super annoyed, but has no choice. Gotta do what the whale says basically. Day 3 of streaming. Beck hits the bureau gym. Eugene slid in his DMIs telling him to pull up cause she's busted up and he needs a sub-trainer ASAP. Chad hears that and starts placing bets on who the sub is gonna be. Some say Kimch, but nah, dude's way too busy. Eugene finally spawns in and says, what's up? After the intros, the substitute trainer walks in. And whoa, it's a total baddie named Kim Hana. Chat goes feral simpin'. Everyone wants to be Beck now. Funny thing is, Beck actually knows who she is. In that other world, only Kim calls faster than her. She's basically the VP of power at the bureau. Beck admits she almost clapped him when they fought before. Eugene does, the intros then dips, leaving them alone. Once she's gone, Hannah asks Beck, long sword or short? He says he rocks both. Hearing that, Hannah decides to vibe check his skills. She challenges him to a 1v1 and Chat absolutely loses it. See, usually players don't use swords. Sunshow screams main character energy. Chat's hype because most people are just skill. Spammers, they think this whole AI is totally cracked. Like, even a smart I shouldn't be this good. But Beck's storyline is built completely different. They wonder if the game script actually changes. All cause of the gamer making moves. Straight up like I. While the peanut gallery argues, Beck and Hannah prep for the showdown. Hannah's like, let's stick to no superpowers allowed. Beck goes, yeah, a slight problem with that, ... My buff's a permanent passive skill. Can't turn it off, bro. So Hannah figures she use her skills too, but keep them on low power mode. Game on. She launches at Beck, swinging for the fences. Beck sidesteps the first hit, but boom, next swing is already in his face. Dude has to backflip out of there to avoid getting sliced and diced. Sancho ain't shocked. Hannah's cracked literally. The Wind Build Meta Queen. She basically invented the whole God of Wind place. Meanwhile, Sanunko's stun Beck hasn't been code yet. Hannah realizes he's no noob, so she decides to stop playing nice. She charges her blade with crazy wind magic to decapitate him, but Beck's reflexes save his neck. The blast wrecks everything. Behind him, he lives, and Hannah's like, knew you'd dodge that. Chat is going wild. Some fans think Beck could have clutched it if he had those 2 key unlocks. Hannah gives props, telling Beck he's way less lame than she expected. Beck's bummed though. He knows in a real deathmatch, he'd be toast. Just proves he's still trash compared to his prime in the other world. Hannah asks, who trained you? And he's like, no one. She's shook. No master. And he's still that good. Wild. She tells him to tag along. Got some cool loot to show him. Boom. They hit up the Bureau's armory. Kim Hyun Woo, the support squad boss, says, Hannah explains, Beck needs to grab a weapon since fighting empty-handed is totally pointless. Hyun Woo says, pick smart kit, points at the pile, and dips. Hannah tells him, don't rush, find the one. Beck scans the room, but nothing vibes until he spots one that looks halfway decent. It's the vampiric spear drug. Buff 1 makes the blade super sharp. Buff 2 sucks blood to heal HP. Buff 3 straight up controls blood. He's about to click equip when something else grabs him. Spins around. Whoa, a black launch. The Soul Eater. First perk. This bad boy is unbreakable. Second, eats souls to boost damage. Third, heals you based on how hard you hit. Got secret modes too, but they're locked for now. Note, only works in PvE. No trolling in ranked match. Beck shook, seeing that blade here, cause it's usually shady black market loot. He figures it's totally stolen Bureau property that someone swiped. Dude is hyped. He just stumbled across his dream weapon in such a basic shop. Beck then tells Hannah he's gonna snag the Soul Eater, and she starts the ownership paperwork ASAP. Chat sees this and practically loses their minds, cause most noobs only get 2-up trash gear right now. Some super hyped fan drops 10,001 coins, saying Beck just scored an endgame weapon once he unlocks its perks. Sunshaw points out this ain't the first time Beck grabbed loot he shouldn't have yet. Like that hermit necklace from last stream, that's strictly late game stuff. That comment finally jogs their memories. They missed it cause the plot was too spicy to notice. Then Sencho drops a theory that the game likely dishes out loot based on how risky the play is. Basically, harder challenges equal sweeter prizes. Neon vibes with that, noting Beck beat those hunting dogs day 1. Sunchul nods, saying the dude has been playing flawless so far, so Neon figures grabbing Soul Eater as his prize, and suggests they just chill and watch the show. Later, Hannah wraps up the ownership, transfer and tosses the blade over to Beck. With the new toy in hand, Hannah says, let's hit a raid immediately. Soon, they hit a portal, chilling on a mountain peak. It's full of wolf mobs, but just scrub tier E or F ranks. Inside, Hannah warns Beck that a huge wave is about to swarm him any second, even if they're tricky. He's chill since anything under B rank is a joke. Since they're rushing him, Beck figures it saves time hunting them down. Then Hannah says she spectate from the back and only jump in if he fails. Beck pulls out Soul Eater from inventory, and boom, wolves appear on cue. A pack pounces, so he decides to swing with max force. He lets rip a massive hit, one-shotting the beast instantly. Fragging mobs actually buffs the sword's damage output too. Neon's impressed he wields that giant slab so precisely. Hannah's shook though. She spots his move the Heavenly Moon / no time to catch a breath. Elites spawn in, shocking viewers with the crazy fast pacing. They rush Beck, but he slices them up like butter. Sunchul's floored by the skills. Since there's no record of him learning them, even Neon is stunned, and figures he must have mastered it all back in the Coliseum days. Beck goes ham, slicing baddies like pizza with that giant blade. He groups M4, a monster kebab party. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Hannah's totally shook by his sword skills, like jaw on the floor. Hold up, vibe check. Something's creeping in the bushes. He squares up fast. Boom. Big bad, Silver Wolf boss leaps out. Major main villain energy. It lunges, but Beck's like, nope, and blocks it cold. Still, the beast got hands shoves him back a bit. He breaks free, lands a cheap shot, and hops back for breathing room. This doggo's buff as heck, but Beck ain't sweating it. Total chill mode. Swish, one horizontal slash in the wolf, is toast. Soul snack secured. Game over. Hannah hypes him up standard behavior for the Bureau's MVP. She admits she was about to jump in cause that boss was way too OP for the level. Nan backs her up. Supposed to be easy mode, turned into a hardcore beranked nightmare. Sunshaw starts yapping. A wild theory. Maybe player stats glitched the difficulty. Weirdly, the creepy world isn't fading, even though the mobs are dust. Hannah tells Beck it's glitching out and they gotta find the source of the weirdness. Stat, boom. Random mystery egg in the middle of nowhere. Suddenly, it goes full disco ball mode and starts cracking. Hannah screams, heads up, cause loot boxers are unpredictable. Shockingly, a lil pup pops out, leaving the squad totally confused. Never seen that before. Pup trots too. Beck Hannah's like, weird, usually these things bite. Beck's like, kill it. Rules say yes. But Hannah goes, nah, it's too kawaii. Keep it. Beck shrugs and scoops it up. Instantly, the dimension crashes. Time to skedaddle. Back at base, the lab geeks are flipping out. Totally unprecedented weirdness. Big brain boss thinks, maybe a skill summon the Hannah denies it. Not our skills, bruh. Duck glottifies. The glitch came from the other side, not you guys. Still, he swears they'll dig deep into this mystery. Hannah asks if the agency keeps the dog, but the doc drops a bombshell. Says the owner tag is already locked in. Rules say they can't cage a pet with a master. Crazy plot twist. The pup claimed Beck. System says it's officially his bet. Beck is totally blanking on what is going down when a server kill alert smacks him. Pop-up says, servers nuked for updates. 5 minutes to doomsday. Log out or gig. Chat goes wild. Beck snags a pet and the game instantly dies. Sus. Some think the pet broke the code, forcing a hard reboot. Others say, nah, just bad timing. Bruh, chill out and wait for the respawn. Neon tells chat. Stream's over. Peace. Meanwhile, at USHQ, Planet Earth devs are watching. Total panic mode inside. Devs are freaking over a ghost update they didn't launch. Boss Sophia is super salty. The mess at Dev whispers, only Isaac has these hacks. Turns out, Isaac was the old top, genius dev, who ghosted everyone. Sophia knows he hit on purpose, but she never expected him to nuke the server for progress on DSC? Team goes, nope, D's is the AI, Isaac coded to build the game, but it bricked itself when he vanished. Sophia barks, make sure there's no more surprises, or we're cooked. The guy asks if she thinks they can crack Isaac's files. She screams, find them or die trying. Also, she orders them to spy on Beck in case things get weird. Sophia's geared up to rage quit Isaac's trolling. Back online, Anon 62 drops 5 million Beck's loot. Then the mystery dude D bring a squad mate for the next raid. Beck reads it, thinking, what's the plot? Plus, he realizes all his special quests are glitching into the real world. Neon asks, is Anon 62 a dev? She shook the server crashed right at the pet drop. Beck shrugs. Just luck. Why watch a noob like me? Then he asks, Neon, about that huge news she teased. Neon spills. You got drafted for the SSR Cup. Huge PvP event. They only want top streamers and legends. Beck frowns. Wait, they want me to coach? Neon grins. Dude, you're the main character right now. Plus, the SSR Cup also has this official support coach gig. Nyon bets the hosts think Beck brings more hype coaching than playing, so she pushes him to join and flex those mentor skills. He's like, Coach, you mean I got to adopt a pat? Nyon nods, promising she'll handle the setup if he's game. She even hints at holding tryouts to scout his perfect student. Since Anon 62 told him to find a trusty ally, Beck says yes. Nyon's totally stoked because she knows this drama will make their view count explode. She rushes to tell the hosts before Beck bails on the idea. Soon, she and Sensulo hop on stream with big news. Hype levels rising. They tell everyone Beck's hitting the SSR Cup as a coach. Chat goes bonkers, though some wanted him to play instead. Sensulo admits he's dying to see how Beck coaches, since being a god-tier gamer doesn't mean you can teach. But first, Nyon says he needs to grind. His rank is trash right now. Turns out, the guy is only sitting at gold tier across the board. She brags they played Battle Royale and crushed 10 wins straight. So, she tells Chat he's ready to storm the ranked ladder. Boom, a donor drops a quest. 40 Bearhand kills 4-3 million 1. Classic Nyon. She practically faints from greed and pings Beck immediately. The audience is glued to the screen as they figure Beck's finally going to take his first L, but Beck ain't chicken. He clicks accept. Chad is sweating, wondering if he can actually pull this off. Beck logs solo queue and hot drops into the military base. He scans the area, about 19 enemies nearby. With a 40 kill quota, he knows he's got to speedrun this. He takes a stance and blitzes forward, deleting noobs on the fly. Chad is shook they can't even track his movement speed. His skill feed spams up as he one-taps everyone in sight. By the time the outskirts are clear, he's bagged 18 kills. Beck realizes the party is moving to the center. Soon, the lobby drops to 2. Beck versus some mystery sweat. Beck hunts down the final guy, who looks totally zoned out. He goes for a head kick finisher, but the dude dodges last second. Beck's foot smashes the pavement, proving that hit was lethal. Chat gasp, Set Rondo is actually fast enough to evade Beck. Then the guy raises his fists, inviting Beck to a straight-up brawl. Chat peeps instantly knew this guy was rocking a beefy body mod, just like Beck. Shocker alert, this random isn't trash. He's sitting on 15 kills already. But Beck, he's chilling with 39 bodies dropped, and if he claps his final boss, he's hitting that sweet 40 kill milestone. It's go time. Beck swings a haymaker at the guy's dome, but he slips it. Dude tries to clap back, but Beck ain't having it, and eats the hit with an elbow. Then bam, jump kick sends the guy flying. Chad is losing their minds, seeing these moves, cause it looks like a legit kung fu movie in there. Everyone's asking, who is this guy? Movements to Klingata, BS. Even Beck gives him props, saying his footwork is low-key fire. But yeah, playtime's over. Time to end this. Guy rushes in, bites on a fake punch, and gets skewered by Beck's spear. Dude gets yeeted straight into the concrete before respawning. He admits, GG, I was trying a weird new build. Still, he types out that it was a blast and promises a real sweaty 1v1 next time. Match over. Beck bags the win with 40 kills flat. Chat go snook. Staying true. View a deuce drops at massive 3,000,001 Donna. Cochin. Right in the high, Beck goes on a sick 98 game win streak, hitting master tier across every single mode. Absolute unit. Later, streamer twins, Young Arium and Young D hear Beck needs a Padawan for the cup. They're totally down for it. So they both slide into the applications to be his student. Meanwhile, Sophia's reviewing logs and spots that 3,000,001 whale deuce. Couple days later, we catch Beck vibing with his new pet, the lightning wolf. He checks for OP skills, but nope, the pup just bites, howls, and rolls over. Lame. Neon's like, yeah, didn't expect much. Since the doggo was part of some rushed emergency patch, then she tells Beck the inbox exploded, so she and Sunchilo filtered the list. She suggests he peep the shortlist after the grind. Stream time. Beck tries to dismiss the pup, but those puppy eyes, critical hit. He keeps it. 5 minutes later, Neon fires up the live feed, and Beck jumps back into career mode. Suddenly, a bureau alert pops up. The Rampage event at the local park. Chat is shook, that's a huge endgame event that shouldn't trigger yet. Everyone starts spamming their confusion about the game script breaking. TL, Doctor. The reverse planet rampage is when otherworld monsters raid the zone. Hard, Beck immediately gets a quest to head there and wipe out the invading monster wave. Hannah pulls up, yelling that the ride is ready and they gotta dip. Now, few ticks later, they pull up to the park and see monster and human bodies everywhere messy. Hannah bets the first squad got clapped by those goblins. She's like, let's split up to clear map fast. Since she finally trusts Beck not to feed, Beck dips once she's gone. He finds goblins griefing a lady and wipes them with his chainsaw. One mob tries to jump the girl, but Beck has him. Karma. Chad is shook by Beck's chain skills. He points the lady to the safe zone and she eats out of there. Beck gets it. To win, he gotta frag the boss mob now. He's thinking when a monster spawns behind him. Nearly got sliced, but his reflexes are go. Beck's hyped, the captain. Mob showed up, perfect timing. He's ready to fight, but spots a camper in the bush. He watches the stalker, playing defense on the boss. Even Chat notices and asks why he isn't striking back. Figuring the camper wants a show, Beck goes sweat mode and slices the beast. Chat goes feral. They were waiting for that play. Boss down, Beck tells a lurker to stop hiding. Suddenly, a huge purple dude with horns steps out to face Beck. Turns out, it's a dimension invader. Looks human, but totally a demon from another server. Viewers are sweating. These things are basically myths. Senchulo asks why an invader is spawning this early in the run. He says Beck's career mode is glitching. Reality? Wildly, the invader puts up his dukes, wanting a fistfight. Weird flex, but Beck drops his weapon. Let's go. Beck swings, but the guy dodges and counters. But Beck is ready and slips the hit. They trade blows. Sunshaw says, it looks like that Battle Royale duel. One of Chat agrees, but says all fistfights look the same. Still sus, why this alien has hands. Beck clocks it though. The dude is copying his moves. He recalls an Etnel clone from the other world. coded to delete him for wrecking the lab. Copycat or not, Beck knows this. Poser ain't got nothing on him. Easy, clap. He grabs the creep's head and introduces it to the floor. Bonk. Follows up with a spicy knuckle sandwich combo. Night. Beck realizes someone's pulling a copy-paste job just like that lab from the other world. Who's the mastermind? So, sus. Is it the corporate suits or an invader? He's trying to guess. Wait, big brain moment, that thing Capita's moves? From PvP, so the puppet master is definitely hacking the game system. Could it be that mysterious Anon? He's wondering. Just then, Hannah pulls up to the spot. Area clear, she asks. Beck's like, yup, handled it. Chad isn't shocked. Classic Hannah, always late to the party. She's shook though. Beck clapped a captain and an invader. Wow. She buzzes HQ immediately, telling him to send the got a dead alien here? Come fetch. Also adds, scan for more creeps. Make sure it's safe. She gives Beck props. You're legit. Knew I could count on you. Let's dip back to base when the cleanup crew arrives, she says. Boom. Mission accomplished for Beck. Snags 1 ability point. Standard loot. Back at HQ. Kim pings Beck. Wants the tea on that invader fight. Turns out they analyzed the body. And it's super weird. Totally unlike any mobs they've seen before. Rare spawn? Kimchi's verdict. It's a whole new species. Brand new baddie. Notice anything weird during the 1v? Kim Chill grills him. Beck spills the beans that the think Copitas style. Kim Chul's mind is blown. Chet is surprised too, but mostly roasting Kim's for overreacting. Sunchill hints that the aliens' moves might be way deeper than they guessed. Major red flag. One viewer's like, bet, this unlocks a new story arc. Kim Cho says, never seen an alien ape, a human before. First time? Kim chads that they are screwed. If aliens can mimic us, it's game over for Earth. Beck gets it. Chual ain't lying. That would cause total mayhem in the streets. Plus, he bets the League would team up with aliens for cash. Typical. Kimch tells Beck he did a killer job stopping a disaster before it started. MVP moves. So Kimchill hands him a box. You earned this loot, kid, take it. Walks out with the box and bumps into Eugene and Hannah. Eugene says she came to hype him up. That box has an official agent badge inside. Seniors gotta pin badges on the newbies, she explains. Tradition. But she's mummified in bandages, so Hannah steps up to do it. Hannah slaps the shiny badge on Beck's collar, hyping his level up. Eugene then pipes up. That being an agent equals major clout. But there is a catch. Basically, the green light to go solo gives him the chance to run missions without all that boring red tape. Eugene is salty that Beck has to grind alone now when they literally only partied up once. Hannah roaster girl, you almost died on that mission. Still, Eugene says, call if you need a carry, solo isn't mandatory. Beck gives them props and Eugene asks, so, what is the master plan? Suddenly Nian kills the feed, telling Chat they are ending the stream because Sunchal has to bounce. But wait, Naeon drops a bomb. Auditions for Beck Squad open soon. Project name, Superstar. Chatty immediately flames her in the comments, saying the name is total cringe. Tune in next time to see the noobs. Nyan teases. Days later, audition time, twins Ari and Dawn pulled up. The room is packed with big shots and random players, proving they didn't play favorites, picking candidates. Even Blue Whale, that clickbait cringe lord, is among the group. Nyan invited him just to wreck his ego. Savage. Lights, camera, action. Nyan and Sunel go live. Chat sims for the new background, funded by the event. They are outdoors because the crowd is way too huge. Nyan finally quits, yappin', and summons the boss. Beck walks in suited up and Chat loses it. But the mask stays on, so everyone screams, face reveal. Earlier, Beck asked Naeon what content needs a full squad. She was like, the game? Mode requiring a party is raid. Top tier content in Reverse Planet. Not just bonkin' one boss-like story mode. You need a team to survive the tricky puzzle mechanics. Plus, the sweet loot only drops once a week. Back live, Beck tells the wannabes, obey me, or else. He lets them know they are free to walk out if they are soft. Also, even if they win, ignore orders and they get banned. But he promises they are going to hit Master Tier if they actually listen. Blue Whale interrupts. I am Master 2. Prove you are good. Beck nods. Bet all 12 of you. Jump me at once. Touch me once in 10 minutes. You win. If not, game over. Neon totally loses it. This wasn't the deal. Even Sunchul's jaw hits the floor. Beck drops a bomb. Tag him once, and you win. Then he draws a circle. Won't move, won't attack first. Major flex. The chat goes absolutely feral when they hear that. They think Beck's being way too cocky. Someone asks, can we jump you? Beck says, bring it. Honestly, they can use whatever cheat codes or gear they want. Game on. Blue Whale tries a sneaky snipe immediately. But nope, Beck sidesteps like it's nothing. Whale is shook. Beck gets spicy. Just rush me all at once. Save some time. They don't need asking twice. And they unload everything, but they're the ones getting wrecked. While everyone's whining, the twins make a play, sprinting at Beck for a combo spoiler, their little pincer attack flops hard. Beck eats them into the sky, like timer buzzes. 0 hits landed on Beck. Chat is stunned. 12 people couldn't budge him. Skills proven. Beck asks, anyone else got beef? Silence. That's a no. Beck goes, okay, I can fight, but gotta prove I can actually teach you scrubs. He starts the audition but almost gags saying the cringe name. With that disaster finally kicking off, Sunshil asks, so, what's the first torture method? Naon says, control your powers. No mods allowed. Simple, hold 150 kilos for 3 minutes. The viewers are like, simple, girl, you crazy? That's impossible. Raw? The fuck? Chat screams, what build? Sunshil says, it's a buff type. Sunch admits it ain't god tier, but it boosts stats, okay? Naon claims her and Sunshil totally nailed it earlier. She flashes a pic as proof she isn't lying. But the photo is kinda sus, because she and Sunshil look like they're seeing the light. Naon orders. System windows open. Let's see those stats. Then she asks, questions. Speak now. Twins shoot their hands up, asking the exact same thing. Do we get bonus points for speed? Sunshil notes that scores count. Scoring depends on speed. If you snooze, you lose. Basically, speedrunners get all the clout. Nio drops a bomb. The bottom for noobs get booted at the end. Everyone panics, but she's like, chill, you can rage quit if you want. But the catch is, the timer for mission. 1 is just 30 minutes. Practice included. Tight squeeze. Game on. Everyone starts grinding XP instantly, to warm up. While they sweat, Sununko asks Beck for his hot take on ... The winner, Beck bets the twins will crush it first. Neon is totally standing LNDB. Chat realizes these guys are tank mains lifting, is their whole vibe. Suddenly, the chat ... goes wild, thinking the devs nerf at ranged players. Total drama. Chat screams bias, claiming mods hate ranged users. No ... freaks out. She needs to stop this flame war, ASAP. Looking totally shook, she ... waves frantically, begging chat to touch grass and calm down. She leaks that mission 2 will actually ... buff ranged players. That's why nobody gets kicked yet. The chat ... finally gets it. Round 1 for tanks. Round 2 for snipers. Fair? Now they're roasting ... Neon for looking so terrified earlier. Neon asks, who's up? And the usual suspects flex hard. Start. 1 minute in. The twins are bickering like toddlers. LNDB almost hits 3 minutes but drops the weight. Rip, but the twins smash the ... 3 minute mark. First place, secured. LNDB screams run it back and actually gets a he clutches it. Meanwhile, Blue Whale is sweating bullets. He knows he'll get cancelled hard ... if he flops after all that trash talk online. Just as the 4th winner ... is named, Blue Whale decides to execute his scheme. Ready or not, he raises his hand. Showtime. Naon says, turn your stream overlay on before you get up here. He hops up and breezes past 2 minutes. Chat spamming Pog, shocked he's actually good. But Beck looks totally ... unimpressed. He smells something fishy. Blue Whale hits 3 minutes, and right as he ... tries to bail, Beck yells, yo, what's the cheat code? Blue Whale plays innocent, but Beck calls out his hacks. Chat is super confused when the chat hears it cause they see Blue Whale's screen screaming 0%. Nyan's like, yo Beck, why's the dude suspect for using mods? Beck spills the tea. Whale's glitchy moves during that lift gave him away. Beck says the guy's body snapped into place real-time like a bad animation, but the chat isn't buying it, thinking Beck is totally tripping or seeing things. Even Nyon whispers, a warning. Bro, if you're wrong, we're cooked. Beck hits back saying he knows a hack when he sees one. He dares Whale to show the real system, not that fake overlay. Whale puffs his chest, claiming his mod screen is right there. Then he warns Beck that a simple my bad won't fix this mess. Beck claps back. If I'm wrong, I'll apologize. No cap. And he raises the stakes, promising to quit streaming and hand over all his cash to Whale. With everything on the line, Beck tells Blue Whale to tweak the settings, backing the cheater into a corner. Whale panics, fiddles with it, and screams lag. When it fails, Beck shuts him down, telling him the review is over and he's disqualified. Chat is bummed to learn Beck was right and Whale was actually cheating. Salty that he got busted. Blue Whale rage quits while cursing out the whole stream. Viewers roast him as he leaves and spam apologies to Beck. Next up, the second mission favors the ranged users as predicted. It basically helps them snag the top ranks in this round of testing. The ones who failed left like champs, promising to keep staining the stream. Sunch says individual play is done. It is time for the squad battles. Nayeon explains that after a fight, the winning squad splits up to battle each other, meaning only 2 people are making the final cut. Nayeon breaks them into Team A and Team B. It is balanced based on their scores from the solo round. Team A is all ranged. Team B is melee, except for Shy Sharia. For Mission 1, they gotta drop intermediate eat. Most frags wins, but leaving your zone is an instant fail. Nayeon notes, they get 2 tries, and the high score is the one that counts. Suncho says, go wild with skills, but the modifier stays capped at 60%. Rules done. The candidates jump straight into the action. Round 1 ends. Team A bagged 10 etnels, Team B got 8. Team A is taking the lead, all thanks to that OP ranged build meta. Basically, ranged players can just chill back and snipe enemies one by one, but melee users? They're cooked if they don't clear mobs fast. They'll get swarmed instantly. The chat totally agrees, claiming the whole setup is unfair to melee mains. Round 2 prep. Sharia tells the squad they're hopeless against Team. Down suggests they beg Bayak for some coaching. L and DB are down, thinking they might actually have a shot if Beck flexes his coaching skills. Don didn't think they'd agree, but the whole squad says yes. Ariam sprints over to ask Nayeon if that's allowed. Luckily, Nayeon says yes, but to keep it fair, she and Sunil will coach Team A. Shockingly, the viewers are hyped for this, because seeing judges jump in is top-tier content. But Beck's like, I'm only in if Team A is cool with it. Team A huddles up to discuss the drama. Quick chat later, they pick Suncho since he's a ranged pro like them. So Team A tells the admins they're good to go. Nayeon announces the mission reboots in 30 minutes. Beck wastes 0 time, rallying his team and explains they gotta learn the Eternal stats to beat them. Beck warns, Eternals aren't human, they don't feel pain. Basically, if an Eternal calculates its damage output is higher than yours, it'll tank the hit and go full aggro. Beck tells them they can totally read the mob's moves if they spot the tells. Surprisingly, even the chat is learning from Beck's tutorial. Less than over, Beck suggests a quick scrimmage, attack me like I'm an et. Beck poses, and as aura shifts, it gets intense. Frast, L, and DB try to make the first play, but Beck catches the sword and yeets him with a kick. The twins try their classic simultaneous attack strike. Meanwhile, Sharia is frozen, stiff, terrified. She friendly-fire her team if she misses. While she's overthinking, Beck is destroying her friends. Beck drops the twins and yells that their combos aren't synced. He tells them to work on their synergy first. While Beck coaches, 2 rivals just stare at him. Chat doesn't blame, they'd be staring too. Nayeon snaps them out of it, saying they'll be fine if they focus. 15 minutes later, Team B looks wrecked but ready to challenge. Battle starts. They rush the Eternals without flinching. Following Beck's lead, they prep counters for every Eternal they fight. Once they dodge, boom, wide open for the kill. Earlier, Beck slid Sharia some pro tips. She's the only ranged DPS, so she carries the squad. Told her that fearing friendly fire just kills her vibe and ruins the shot. An Eternal tries to gank L and DB, but Sharia skewers it with an ice spear. Then she yells, focus, I got your backs covered. Everyone's shook. Beck's coaching is totally up. When time runs out, Team B bagged 14 kills. Total. Chat goes wild for that insane clutch play. Team A steps up, but only drops 12 baddies. Nayeon announces Team B as the big winners. They jump around, hyping their crazy win. Team A took the L, but they didn't sweat it because they gave it their all. Before dipping, they beg Beck for ranged hacks. Post-lecture, Team A logs off, shouting out the hosts. Sungul says it's finally time for the finals. It's a 2v2 PvP survival depth. He says the last squad standing takes the crown. 0 drama. They already picked partners. Twins duo up. Sharia teams with L and DB. Soy's hitting the gym when the results drop. No shocker, the twins won on pure synergy. Soy's stoked. Beck is coaching. May he'll pick her squad? She's hoping for another collab stream soon. Days later, the regular stream is back online. It picks up right where the PvE event ended, asking Beck what he'll do with his power. Beck says he'll solo the reverse planet. Hannah's not shocked. That's just how he rolls. Hannah knows he's legit. Eugene worries though. She leans in and whispers for him. Check his DMS. ASAP. It's kinda awkward. Once alone, Beck reads the text. From Eugene Koi's crew is hunting him down. The League wants something, so expect attacks. She warns him that the corpos know they're busted, so they're playing it super safe now. Joke's on them, the Bureau's got moles deep inside their base. Now we get the tea whenever those suits plot something shady. Eugene slides over a list of portals. Beck can solo. Raid. Chat immediately screams, "It's a trap," seeing that suspicious list. Then some random named Zhongjuan pops up, claiming he's support. He offers Beck a lift, promising to drive him straight to a prime solo grinding spot, and our boy hops in. Guy drops Beck at the gate and peels out faster than light. Beck's spidey senses tingle instantly. He's totally surrounded. 0 guards at the gate, just creepers camping in the bushes. He whips out his blade in a split second, clocking exactly 6 goons waiting to jump him. Beck moves first, rushing the scrub, camping up in a tree. He almost slices the guy, but the boss steps in to block. Bossman lands a heavy hit, sending Beck skidding back. Cover is blown, so the whole squad steps out of the shadows. The leader slow claps, impressed by Beck's sharp instincts. Then he calls him Subject 48, like he's some lab rat. That triggers Beck, asking if these clowns work for Enterprise. The guy shook, Beck knows. So he cuts the small talk. Says they're dragging him back to the lab, dead or alive. They want to cultivate his powers with some twisted science. Beck's over it, telling the dude to zip his lip already. Boss smirks, saying whatever happens next is totally on Beck. The 6 goons finally draw their weapons for real. One rushes in, but Beck parries and shoves him away. Another tries a sneak attack. Beck bonks him out cold instantly. Even though the numbers don't look great for him, the boss yells at his minions to keep rushing the target. They pile on, but Beck floors the whole squad effortlessly. Beck's barely trying, and the chat isn't even surprised. Dude's leveled up so much. These guys are basically NPC. Panicking, the leader screams for everyone to pop teal. That command leaves the audience totally lost. Nobody's heard of that item before. Even Sunshell Googled it fast, but found 0 results online. They realize Beck just unlocked a hidden story route. The goons pop the pills, saying Beck's gonna regret this big time. Even Beck doesn't know these meds, so he stays on guard. The second they swallow those things, they start glitching out and turning a gross purple color. Everyone realizes they look exactly like that invader boss. Now, chat goes crazy, doubting Beck can solo a whole pack of these. Before he can blink, one of the mutants dashes right at him. Beck jukes, last second. Dude's hit totally wrecks the floor. The chat goes crazy. They see how OP1 pill makes a guy. Beck's stuck defending, as goons tried to jump him. Sunshell notes they're buffed, but acting super glitchy. Sinungle spots the goons have totally changed, like 0 feelings left. Mid-fight, Beck gets yeeted back by a massive punch. Seeing them move, Sunchulo guesses they're being controlled like puppets. Beck sees it's weird, cause the 4 act like invaders. Beck knows he got a speeder in this fight to investigate what's up. He rushes the 4, cuts through a flame wave sent his way. Chat's shook at Beck's speed. Bro just sliced fire. As he pushes the foes, they toss rocks, but Beck's already in beast mode. He slices whatever they throw and keeps moving. Seeing Beck ain't playing, boss orders a team combo to trap him. But it's totally useless. vs Beck, who snips everything they chuck at him. He blocks their hits and drops M simultaneously. Beck spares the boss, then teleports behind him. Beck drops him with a neck chop. Chat hypes Beck up cause juiced goons couldn't even touch him. Boss done. Beck grabs him to ask questions, but blood starts leaking. His nose, he says the meds shouldn't do this. Before Beck can quiz him, dude just croaks. Beck thinks the meds glitched, since dude said it wasn't right. Since the meds didn't exist elsewhere, Beck knows he gotta dig deeper. He loots them, but finds 0 useful drops. Hannah and Eugene spawn in a bit later. They say sorry for lag. Beck says it's cool. Chat's hyped for the plot twist. Everyone's buzzing about that TLZ. Beck asks how they tracked his location. Hannah says right after he dipped, they heard dogs were moving. They ask Gion, the guy who drove him from HQ, but he sent them the wrong way. Dude rage quit his job, exposing he was a spy. Still, they tracked the dash cam to find Beck's spot. Eugene apologizes again, telling Beck that she'll pay him back. But Beck says, don't worry. Later, Chat sees Beck skipping Kimchi's office. Beck's brain is buffering the mess, realizing the game's story glitches based on his choices. He figures this game is basically a walkthrough for the otherworld's secrets. Time to check the core and nerf the League of Enterprises. Chat freaks out as Beck resets his stats. And judging by the gear, he's ditching the Malay meta. Viewers ask if he's actually cracked at magic or just throwing. Boom! He equips the ARG build he used before getting the superhuman title. He locks in the loadout, sparking a fire aura that gets the stream hyped. He's clueless on the drug lab, but he recognizes the corporate suits running it. Gumshin Electronics. Round 2. The chat is shook when they see Beck roll up to Gumshin alone. Is he trying to solo the raid? Sunch finally clicks. Beck respects so nobody would clock his ID while he destroys the corp without fists. A fan says Beck's finally clapping back at the toxic cores before making his play. Beck dyes his hair silver. New skin unlocked. Mask on, zero lag. He storms the building. Beck goes full tryhard. Immediately, no time to troll. Seconds later, it's chaos. In the lava as Beck unleashes absolute carnage. He looks cool, but some fans think he's rushing in too hot. Nyan, sweating about bystanders, Basu says the blast triggered a phase shift. So now, the raid is instanced for Beck only. The system splits players into private lobbies during events. Basically, you're invisible to everyone else on the server. Beck finds more goons and disarms them with telekinesis easy work. He's beelining for a secret door. He remembers when a grumpy boss cuts him off. Oh, snap. Beck knows this guy. It's you, that toxic guard who loved bullying the lab rats. Seeing him wakes the ghost, begging Beck to delete him. Jongchul is barking orders when the ceiling literally starts caving in. His squad panics, clueless that Beck just cast a spell. That's exactly why. They dubbed him Destruction in the other world. Jongchul realizes Beck's a problem and tells the boys to lock in. He orders a team rush, but Beck isn't even sweating. Flinch before becoming a spike kebab. Straight up horror movie status. Welp, that is a wrap for today. Want more? Spam part 2 below. Smash sub, ring the bell, and hit like. Thanks for hanging, and catch y'all later.